there's a tendency, I think, to view the world in our time as the worst that it has ever been. If you read through history, I read a lot of great people who made statements like this. Goethe once said on his deathbed, allegedly, "I'm glad to be leaving such an altogether finished world." That was a couple hundred years ago, and the world wasn't finished. It's done a lot better since that time. By way of example, the French Revolution took place in 1788 and lasted 5 years or so. And Charles Dickens, perhaps the greatest novelist in the English language, wrote about the French Revolution in his classic, The Tale of Two Cities. The opening passage of that novel is among the most quoted in all of literature. So in 1860, Charles Dickens wrote about the French Revolution occurring in the 1790s. And here's what he said. It was at the very beginning of the book, the first page is set by itself. And he wrote, "It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven, or we were all going direct the other way. In short, it was a time much like the present," unquote. What's my point? Our times are not so nearly so black as they may seem. Times seem to be at the time. Despair when in fact all times are much the same. If all of us were transported back 1,000 years right now to the year 10,020, with all of our possessions, our families, everything that we have, computers, everything good and everything bad that we have was transported back to the year 1020. The others living in 1020 would say that you, every single one of you, would say you live like a king. Our times are not terrible. Our times are like many times in the past. And on the whole, our times today are many times better than all of the prior times in the history of mankind. Mankind does improve. You are improving yourselves every day, and you're helping others improve themselves by what you're doing. It's up to us to focus and dwell on the good and the positives that are always present. As we program our minds to think, so shall our lives be.